Swords, sorcery, horniness, everything in between. This is probably going to be the hardest sell we've ever had to make, but we promise it's going to be worth your while. There's 1,001 opinions about this show, but today, I'm here to tell you why you should be watching Jobless Reincarnation. What's up, anime weebs and manga readers? As you can probably tell, this is the latest entry in our You Should Probably Watch series, the best anime recommendation show on the planet, if I do say so myself. Today, we have ourselves a first. We're recommending an isekai. It is not a hot take to say that it is by far the most oversaturated subgenre in the medium of anime today, and by extension, the least likely to be given any artistic merit. Random boring dude number 4567 gets in an accident and wakes up to find himself in a genetic medieval fantasy world, one in which he just so happens to be the strongest or smartest or the hottest. We've all heard the jokes and seen the memes. The stereotypes exist for a reason. They're mostly true. The light novel titles that are a half-page long, the overpowered self-insert protagonist that only exists to build a harem, and solo evil demon lords. You already know the rest. Now, what if I told you there was one that stood out from the rest? A story that does not play on the tropes, but instead invents them. A show written not to deconstruct the core ideas of isekai, but to perfect them. That show, ladies and gentlemen, is Jobless Reincarnation, or as it's otherwise known, Mushoku Tensei. Originally conceived in 2012 as a web novel by an author who goes by the pseudonym Rifuji Namaganote, the series quickly exploded in popularity, and it was turned into a fully fledged light novel by Kadokawa in 2014. Reading the story, it's hard not to see why. The plot opens with a sorry sight. The filthy room of a 34-year-old shut-in addict to, well, let's call it questionable content. He's obese, unhygienic, and frankly, the kind of person no one wants to be around, and rightfully so. After he skips out on his own parents' funeral to consume more of that questionable content, he is kicked out of his home and into the pouring rain by his siblings who have had enough of him. Introspection leads him to a harsh realization: his life has been devoid of any meaning or purpose. During his big epiphany, he witnesses a speeding truck drifting towards a group of unsuspecting kids, and in an uncharacteristically selfless act, he jumps in front of the vehicle and pushes them out of the way. However, if you've ever seen any isekai ever, you already know how this goes. Truck-kun gives our protagonist a big kiss and sweeps him off his feet, and yeah, he's dead. A life lived without purpose ended with a spark. A spark of who he might have been under all that stink and grime and questionable fluids. Perhaps in another life. And that is exactly what he gets. Another life. The protagonist awakens to find himself reborn in a fantasy world brimming with magic and wonder. This unexpected reincarnation offers him a chance at redemption. He resolves to make the most of this new life, discarding the failures of his past identity and embracing his new name, Rudius Greyrat. Rudius demonstrates a natural aptitude for magic, likely due to his past life's experiences. He was not particularly considered a genius before his death, but with the help of his natural intuition and his newfound zeal to be better, he progresses quickly in his magical studies, gaining strength and renown as a mage throughout the land. Wait a second. I can already hear the complaints on the other end of the screen. But mister, you told me this wasn't your standard isekai. How come it sounds just like generic fantasy anime number 5672? Well, my answer to that would be that Jobless Reincarnation's strengths lie in its execution, not necessarily its uniqueness. Even though the original web novels pioneered a good number of the tropes that have become commonplace in isekai, today it can be difficult to stand out as unique among a sea of copycats. Which is why the manner of approaching these familiar beats is what sets this show apart from others. For starters, while most isekai would have their protagonists simply be transported to the new world as they were before, Mushoku Tensei not only has Rudius being born into a completely new human body, it also starts him out as a baby who has literally just been born. We watch from his POV as he learns to walk and talk and learn an entirely new language, just to understand what's going on around him. It doesn't take any shortcuts by skipping around immediately either. We spend a good number of episodes watching Rudius slowly age and get accustomed to this new world and the dynamics of his new family. We catch glimpses of his parents arguing or making love. We see him doing chores and learning to use magic by studying the texts of his father. It's a gradual process, but it never once feels unnecessary or dragged out. Every character feels familiar, and we know their relationships intimately. And so, when a cataclysmic event breaks this familiar dynamic, we feel just as lost and alone as Rudius. The story eases you into the carefully crafted mechanics of the world, and when it finally opens, we appreciate it in its full glory. Each new city or town explored feels well lived in. Each new spell or power introduced feels consistent with the rules of that world. And for this reason, the Six-Faced world will be recognized by most as one of the most beautifully realized worlds in fantasy anime. During his childhood, Rudius encounters a series of individuals who shape his path. He becomes a student of Roxy Magurdia, a powerful demon magician, develops a close friendship with the half-elf Sylphiette, and takes on the role of tutor to Eris Boreas Greyrat, a young noblewoman. We watch most of these characters age alongside Rudius and follow him on his path from boy to adolescent to man. Relationships are forged and broken, and sometimes reforged. Characters die, and others are born. Everyone has their own flaws and quirks that make them feel human. Rudius's dad, Paul, is one of my favorite characters from anime in recent years. Not because he's cool and strong, although he is, but because he's far from perfect. He makes mistakes, and despite his best efforts, he cannot be the father his son needs. There's a beauty to that kind of writing, and for this reason, when emotional moments hit, they hit hard. But that's not the only thing that hits hard in this anime. The action animation is crisp and fluid, a testament to the tremendous talent and effort Studio Bind put into the production. The soundtrack is majestic, matching to the story and visuals in scope and scale. The overarching plot unfolds slowly, teasing you with the mysterious forces driving things behind the curtains. All around, it's a rock-solid piece of media, anime or the like. Why then did we say it was going to be a hard sell? Well, Rudius as a character is great, but he can be a bit of a tough pill to swallow. The man was peak degenerate in his previous life. He had some very inappropriate habits that followed him over into this new world. Long story short, if their world had a sex offender list, his name would be on it twice. Or 3 times. Some viewers say it enhances the story as he gradually tries to grow beyond those habits over time and become a better person. Others just find it too appalling to get through. Obviously, you know your taste better than others, so this particular recommendation may not be for you. But if you can brave through the unsavory aspects of Rudius's character, especially at the beginning of the story, then you're in for an almost unparalleled fantasy anime experience. Anyway, that's all we have for today, folks. Do you agree with our pick? Maybe there's some stuff about jobless reincarnation that we left out. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell to get regular updates on new videos. I make awesome anime and manga content like this every week, so be sure to check them out. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.